Welcome to the Pump and Dump channel for another weekly update, talking about the usual suspects. So natural gas this week was weak. It opened on Monday, it was quite strong here. There seemed to have been like a trend line here, and then Tuesday went below it. Wednesday it was below, and Thursday was also weak. And today, Friday, was a stronger day. Um, the way I see it on the technical chart is kind of in line with this trend line that I had drawn out. I don't know when, last week probably. But anyway, we've come above it. We've been above it for a bit, but then we kind of have come back down. This trend line here, this broke, and we're now bouncing up against it again here. And I think there is sufficient reasoning to believe that the natural gas price goes lower next week. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. And next is crude oil. Look at the chart. I started noticing this trend here because it was extremely clear here during the week. And if I extend it down here, you can still see that it's a kind of an extension from this point here. And we kind of rallied quite strongly the last couple of days. And today we broke that trend, and now I think that this is not a good sign. So I'm thinking now oil will also go down a bit, probably, I don't know, maybe down to here to 59, or to this line here that I have around 59, 58ish, somewhere around there. That's kind of what I'm thinking given how the chart looks. Getting to the stocks, so Range Resources this week was glorious. The stock was performing in line with my valuation throughout the week for the most part, and I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. The valuation, because the natural gas price kind of was melting here, and it kind of gave me an indication from my valuation model that the stock should go lower. So I sold on Wednesday at the open. I sold half of it at 468, and then the rest of it I just pinged off all the way up to 509. I got 509 yesterday, Thursday, and then have a very tiny position left, and I bought some back here at 471 and at 468. So I have a very small position still in Range Resources at this point, because it's kind of near the fair value of the stock. But as I've demonstrated in here, my thinking is that we go lower on these two commodities, and they will directly correlate with the performance of Range Resources. So I'm expecting Range Resources to actually go down next week, and as long as the chart looks like it's going down, and it stays in line with actually going down, this should go down with it. That's my thinking. CNX Resources was a very bizarre stock this week. You can see it was rising, and it just rose continuously as if the natural gas price had been rising and steadied out on Friday. But if you look at it closely, you can see it's rising, and it gets up to here. It actually goes up to the top here of well, it reached 896, it says today. And then you see how it's now continuously selling off throughout the day. And if you contrast that to the natural gas price, Monday was a reason to be long, and I was long on Monday, and Tuesday was still potentially a case to be long. But like I explained, this trend line here broke, natural gas down here. Wednesday it was a clear sell from my model, and Thursday was even more of a sell. But you see the stock Wednesday it just rises, and Thursday it's steady and rises into the close, and then magically on Friday the natural gas price does this big move here. So the way I see it is that the stock was rallying in anticipation of this big move up here, and for me this current stock price, yeah, with the current stock price here, I would have to see natural gas at about 238 to justify paying this price here. So I don't have almost anything left in CNX Resources, because it's just it's gotten too high, and I think that the natural gas price is going to roll over. That's my thinking, of course. If I'm proven to be wrong, um, then I'll be wrong, but that's kind of how I see it for now. The current natural gas price doesn't justify the stock price, and it's not been in sync with, with the performance of natural gas. So the final thing I'll say is the case for natural gas actually going higher and not respecting a bounce off this trend line here could be seen maybe in the RSI. The RSI, it looks like it's steadily rising, but I'm kind of not convinced. I mean, even the weather people are throwing in the towel, saying that it's far too warm during this, December for what's expected. And the same things, in my country. It's like the the little rivers or seas that we have around here, the little ponds. They were frozen over in November, but now they're just liquid, and it's just too warm for them to be frozen. So the weather people are probably going to be proven to be wrong, that the winter will be cold and that will drive the natural gas price up, and we'll probably see the natural gas price a bit weaker until the weather people who are buying based on weather finally throw in the towel. So yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Just remember, it's not investment advice, and no recommendations for you to buy, and so on and so forth. If you have any questions, comments, or opinions, you can share them in the comment section. And if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, and have a good day.